If there's one thing Finn really wanted, it was to be a great hero. This intense, uncontrollable desire was very well portrayed, especially in the early seasons of Adventure Time, where the show made it very clear to us that the most important thing to that boy was helping other people with their problems. Whether it was saving them from some kind of monster that posed a threat, solving their troubles, no matter how silly or insignificant they might seem, or helping in any other way possible, Finn always made sure to put others first. In the end, almost every time he encountered a problem along the way, he always made a point to prioritize it, taking full responsibility for solving it, even if that responsibility had never actually been assigned to him. As if, from the moment he became aware of someone else's problem, it automatically fell on him to find a solution. This urge to fix everything arose because, in his mind, it brought him a little closer to the hero he idealized. It also made others see him a bit more as that hero, the one who was strong, capable of solving everything, and saving everyone all the time. And often, this ended up becoming something quite dangerous for Finn, to be honest. There are countless times when he risked his own life or harmed his own health in some way just to be the hero he so desperately wanted to be. In many moments, we can see through his words and actions how he liked to feed this idea that he was invincible and that he would always win, no matter what came his way. This is so evident in episodes like the one where he discovers he has trypanophobia, fear of needles, or the one where he almost dies because of a bizarre cat in a dungeon when Jake isn't with him. These are episodes where we can easily see a big shock, a great confusion on Finn's part, as if he were receiving a strong, unexpected blow from reality. It became extremely clear that he wasn't as invincible as he thought and that he could, in fact, be defeated at any moment by something or someone stronger. This shows that he was still capable of feeling immense fear, even though he considered himself a brave hero and had built up this shell of self-assurance and pride to mask any feelings that might jeopardize his title as a hero. But did you know that Finn's behavior in the early seasons of the show represents, in a very precise way, a certain syndrome known as none other than hero syndrome? This is a real thing that affects many people out there, and it might even be present in you without you knowing it. But what exactly is hero syndrome? This syndrome is characterized by an overwhelming sense of responsibility for all the problems around you, with the belief that by solving these problems, you can prevent the suffering of others or even yourself. However, it goes far beyond just helping. It's the belief that you can save everyone around you, that they can always count on you for whatever they need. It's the feeling of obligation to be the hero in any situation, to endure anything, solve everything, or overcome anything. This syndrome is also strongly linked to the constant need to feel always right and on the correct side, the need to prove to yourself and others that you are always the most capable person in the room, the one who can make the best choices, have the most sensible and useful opinions, and come up with the most complex and impressive strategies to overcome any adversity that comes your way. These people strongly believe that they can predict the pain of others or themselves and act in advance to prevent it. They believe they can solve problems before they even happen. And the craziest part? This mindset, while noble, can lead to immense pressure, burnout, and even danger, as it often blinds people to their own limitations. Most of the time, there isn't even a real threat or solid evidence that such things might happen. But when we look at this syndrome without delving too deeply, it's common to think that it doesn't seem so bad. However, believe me when I say that it is extremely harmful to anyone's life. Constantly worrying about controlling all the problems around you undoubtedly requires immense self-imposed pressure and energy, which at some point become unbearable for a human being. This ends up making these people walk around constantly stressed, anxious, irritable, and worried. These feelings gradually eat away at them until they result in much more serious and dangerous problems in the future, such as deep depression, for example. Additionally, those with hero syndrome often end up neglecting their own problems and responsibilities. As we know, everything around them always comes first. Helping others always comes first. And obviously, this lack of care and attention to their own lives ends up making things worse in various areas. In the end, the person becomes a great hero for others but a villain to themselves. So, where does this syndrome come from? Well, this constant need to feel useful, praised, and needed can signify two main things. The first is a huge inner void left by something or someone, which the person desperately tries to fill with the feeling of being loved for being a hero. This is the case with Finn, who grew up with the awareness that he was abandoned by his parents in childhood. The second is when this search for appreciation is more linked to an escape from something that already exists within the person but that they want to avoid at all costs. Something inside themselves that they know exists but try to mask and forget instead of facing. They do this through hero syndrome. This something could be a deep fear of not being loved by others or insecurities tied to past traumas. For example, if you somehow identify with what's been said here, I advise you to be gentler with yourself. After all, you're not a machine or made of steel. At the end of the day, you're just a person with your own problems and moments that no one knows about except you, just like everyone you feel responsible for saving. Of course, the desire to help others is a beautiful and admirable thing, but always keep in mind that you can't save anyone without seeking to save yourself first. No one is invincible. No one is capable of winning every battle, solving everything, or saving everyone, but that doesn't make you any less incredible. It doesn't make you any less lovable. It doesn't make you a worse person. It just makes you human.